Don McLean, and I'm going to be doing a little Martin jam. But usually you jam with a couple of other people. But if you know how to use your fingers right, you can just play with yourself, so to speak. You just gotta get the thumb going like that, and you can go. Well, I done cross over. Well. Jesus gonna make up my dying bed. In that time of dying, I don't want nobody to mourn. All I want my friends to do, come for my dying arms. Well. Jesus, meet me in the middle of the air. You promised me 10,000 years ago that you'd be standing there. Well, done crossed over. Well. So if you get your thumb going with the palm of your hand just in front of the bridge, you can, instead of, you dampen that, and then you get this going. The thumb stays going all the time. And you put a little, the more you learn to do that, and then you get a little syncopation. Takes a little practice. And that's your basic rockabilly sound. That's Johnny Cash's sound right there. That and 3 chords and some black material and you're Johnny Cash. Or your Elvis in the early days. Well, I don't care if the sun don't shine. I get my loving in the evening time when I'm with my baby. Makes no difference if the rain comes down. I get going when she's around, oh boy. What a baby. Well, it's a when we're gonna kiss and a kiss and a kiss and a kiss. We're gonna kiss some more. Well, one kiss from my baby's lips, a holler more. Well, I don't care if the sun don't shine. Get my loving in the evening time when I'm with my baby. What I did there when I said, when I'm with my baby. A lot of times I would do an F sharp 7th when I'm, and then a B 7th with my baby. But I actually like the replacement of the C sharp 7th when I'm, and then to a C 7th with my baby. So that's a different way of doing that. Now I do sort of softer picking with the fingers here. I have my finger picks on. You can see how they are. One on each finger, bent a little bit, and a thumb pick. 1967, the draft caught up with me. Me and my pal Joe went off to war. We might find heroes heaven, but we'd keep the country free. We would surely win just like before. Roy Rogers, he was on his horse, and Buck Jones drew his gun. We would surely win, of course, when the battle was all done. In 1967, I came back alone. They brought Joe back in plastic on the plane. 1967 seems so long ago, but I can't forget my friend or ease my pain. His family may forget him, his children may regret him, his wife may find another and go on. His picture may grow faded, and the world he knew gone jaded. But as long as I shall live, I surely know I never will forget my buddy Joe. Well, that's finger picks. Sometimes you can play, this is a 1957 D28. It's in very good shape. And I have people work on these guitars and set them up more or less like a bluegrass guitar with high action and medium strings so that I can get the most sound out of the instrument. I have a thin line pickup under here, and I route this slot out for the saddle, which I replace with a bone saddle. A little wider, the slot is a little wider, so it makes better contact with the pickup, gives me more sound out of the guitar. Also, the bridge pins are bone and the nut is bone, and it's important to bring the guitar to a good luthier and have him go over it. It's somewhat pointless to send it back to the Martin factory for every little thing. And with an acoustic guitar, there are always a lot of little things. The great thing about this instrument is that, and I like one that has vibrato, like that. You know, where you would have an orchestra orchestrating a jazz tune like the one I'm going to sing you in a minute, it would be so complicated, but with the guitar played in a certain way, you can sing a song like that and it works just fine. Like, I'm traveling light because my baby's gone. So from now on, I'm traveling light. She said goodbye and took my heart away. So from today, I'm traveling light. No one to see, the breeze, no one but me and my memories. Some lucky night she may come back again, but until then I'm traveling light. Yes, until then I'm traveling light. This is what I developed kind of a piano style with my finger picks. I do play Travis style like I just showed you, which is what that was. I don't care if the sun don't shine and songs like that, but I like this piano style, which I just used on here now. Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills, sketch the trees and the daffodils, catch the breeze and the winter chills in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Now, what I was doing with my hand there, could not. I was going, moving back towards the bridge when I wanted a little brighter. And then over here when I want a mellower. I like to strum the guitar pretty hard sometimes. That's one of the values of having it set up with a high action and medium strings. You can play quietly, but you play quietly with great projection, which is what you want. You want to get the voice and the guitar, the sound out of the guitar and sound out of your body. So this Martin guitar here is set up so that if I hit this really hard, it's not going to crap out and all of a sudden sound like a piece of junk. And that happens a lot of times with guitars that sound good in a room, but once you get them on stage, that's a whole different thing, because you're out there, fighting for your life, and you want to please that audience and make it as exciting as possible. You're hitting that guitar hard. And this guitar, or guitars like it, D28s, Martins, and I play 0021s, 0028s. My most famous guitar that I'm pictured with is a 1929 0028, a 1929 0028, and has bar frets, actually. They say they lost the formula for making those frets because they just don't wear out. Anyhow, so that's the point of having the guitar set up that way. But on the neck side, you can have an action so that even though it's a high action with medium strings, you can have it so that it's easy to play. And that's where a good, really talented luthier comes in. You don't want any buzzes. You want your high strings to ring, just like your low strings. So if you go... Every day, it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day, it's getting faster, and everyone said, go out and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Love like yours will surely come my way. And again, even with the flat pick, when I wanted more tone, more treble tone, back here, here's where I work usually, and up here is also. So you feel it. So what you get is your dynamics. That's what you have to work on, loud and soft. And I was walking by the graveyard late last Friday night, heard somebody yelling, it sounded like a fight. It was just a drunken hobo dancing circles in the night, pouring whiskey on the headstones in the blue moonlight. So often have I wondered where these homeless brothers go, down in some hidden valley where their sorrows cannot show, where the police cannot find them, where the wanted man can go. There's freedom when you're walking, even though you're walking slow. Smash your bottle on the gravestone and live while you can. That homeless brother is my friend. It's hard to be a pack rat. It's hard to be a beau. Living so much harder where the heartless people go. Somewhere the dogs are barking and the children seem to know Jesus on the highway was a lost hobo. And they hear the holy silence of the temples in the hill, and they see the ragged tatters as another kind of frill, and they envy him the sunshine, and they pity him the chill. They're sad to do their living for some other kind of thrill. Smash your bottle on the gravestone and live while you can. That homeless brother is my friend. ghosts of highway royalty have vanished in the night. The Whitman wanderer walking toward a glowing inner light. The children have grown older, and the cops have gripped us tight. There's no spot round the melting pot for free men in their flights. And we who live on promises and prosper as we please, the victim of our riches often dies of our disease. He can't hear the factory whistle, just the lonesome freight trains wheeze. He's living on good fortune, he ain't dying on his knees. Smash your bottle on the gravestone and live while you can. That homeless brother is my friend. That homeless brother is my friend. How are we on time now, do you know?
11:35.
11:45?
35.
35, 10 more minutes, okay. Well, I want to say that I was born in New Rochelle, New York, which is just outside of New York City. George M. Cohan lived there, wrote the song 45 Minutes from Broadway. And a lot of famous people lived in New York, and in New Rochelle, I should say. And New Rochelle was an interesting place because you never knew who was going to turn up at the movies on Saturday. You know, you might have some television star or some movie star or something make a special appearance who lived there, you know. At one time, Lou Gehrig lived there, Willie Mays lived there, many wonderful singers. Opera singers too, a guy named Richard Tucker, Della Reese. It was a very integrated area that had a black middle class, and everybody got along great. And I have fond memories of New Rochelle. It's gotten back together now. It's coming along just great, and so I'm happy to be from there. And I would see strange people out in front of the movie theater. There was a guy there who was a blind singer in the 50s who had a Gibson guitar. He had a cup attached to the hole, and he would sing Jimmy Rogers songs. So I never forgot that. And I thought to myself, you know, I wouldn't mind being like him. And actually, I'm not that far from being like him now. All you need is your guitar and a head full of songs, and you won't go hungry. So this is a song that I wrote with Shakespeare. And I get to play a little fingerpick style. There was a lover and his lass with a hey ho, hey noddy no. All through the green cornfields did pass in the springtime, for a little rain time, where birdies sing a ding a ding ding, sweet lovers love the spring. All through the fields of wheat and rye with a hey ho, hey noddy no. Those pretty country folk did lie in the springtime, for a little ring time, where birdies sing a ding ding, sweet lovers love the spring. Lovers love the spring. romance is just a flower. So take care of the present time with a hey, ho, hey, nanny, no. For love is precious and sublime in the springtime. For a little rain time, where birdies sing, a ding, sweet lovers love the spring. Where birdies sing, a ding, sweet lovers love the spring. Where birdies sing, a hey, ding, sweet lovers love the spring. So that's how you can jam by yourself and just get your fingers going and play your songs. Just wanted to say that I got my first guitar from the House of Music in New Rochelle, and it was not a Martin guitar, it was a harmony guitar. And you couldn't find a Martin or a Gibson in New Rochelle. You had to go to New York City. Well, I didn't drive. I could never learn to drive. I was a terrible driver, so I always had all my friends driving me everywhere. And one friend who I loved a lot, named Mike Kropp, was a great banjo player, took me to New York, introduced me to the village, and, you know, like a bumpkin, which is what I am and what I was. And so I got my first Martin guitar there, but I never knew what you call them. You know, I would see this logo here and albums and stuff, and I couldn't quite read it, you know, what was it? But the style of the instrument was so unique. And so I saw that one artist I liked played a 0021, and one artist would have a 12-string dreadnought, and Elvis had a D28, Ricky Nelson. Ricky Nelson had a D28. And anyhow, so that's how that all got started. They become my favorite songs of all time. I'm sorry, let me say that again. So that's how that got all started. Martins were my favorite instruments in the world, the holy grail, if you will, to use an overused expression. The apex, the pinnacle, and they still are to me. I'm as in love with Martin guitars today as I was when I was 14 years old, when I discovered Martins and Fenders. So anyway, good luck to everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little exposition and talk by me, and I'm sure we'll meet again. Thank you.